First we'll have a look-see at the Topbar hive. Oh, wow, look at the bearding on that. Holy cow. That is impressive. Hang on. Mosquito. Got a wasp flying around my face, checking me out. Just look at and listen to that. That is just amazing. I guess I should mention it's about 95 degrees out at the moment. So it's pretty hot for New York State. Interesting, there's a cluster hanging down off of the bottom there too. Given the amount of brood that was in here when I inspected this, what was that, a week and a half ago or so? I'm not surprised to see such a tremendous population. They're also spilling out of this corner. I think there's a hole or two in that corner where the frames and boards don't quite meet snug. They're probably glad to have another air hole there. Anyway, given the population, I would not be surprised if they're filling that comb out on the end here that was just started and empties over here. I'm tempted to open this up and do another inspection on this in another week or so. I really kind of want to see how things are progressing, and I might steal maybe a frame's worth of honeycomb, just because, why not? Because wow, these guys are just thriving. Guess I should try and give you a shot of the traffic coming in and out of here too. I don't know how well you'll see that on camera. Yeah, I guess you can see some of them, yeah. Cruising by. A lot of the traffic coming out of all four hives is headed off to the north, which kind of makes sense. That's a lot of open field and variation in vegetation and terrain there. So there's a massive diversity of available flowers for them to go to. Anyway, this is really impressive. There was a pretty good sized ball here last night when I looked in bearding, but this is really, really bearded out. Tremendous traffic. This colony is thriving, and that's exciting. Of course, it's July 19th, 2020. I think I mentioned it before, but I'll say it again, it's about 95 degrees out. Relatively humid. It's a nice, hot summer day. That's how I would put it. And the bees are very busy, and actually their traffic is down a bit from about 15 minutes ago when I was watching them. A lot of airflow going on there on the left and the right both. And I'm sure that has a lot to do with the amount of traffic and resources that are coming in. I know I have seen some bees with pollen sacs on them as well, so that's good. That means they're continuing to feed and work brood and keep new honeybees coming. And last night, I had not seen this prior to this, but last night I started to notice some bees in this upper entrance. Been meaning to get back and plug this, but maybe I don't need to. But I've seen a few bees milling around in there, so that tells me we got bees going up into that very top box now in some reasonable population. And it makes me anxious to get another inspection in here soon and see how they're filling that fourth box, or if they're filling that fourth box yet, and whether they're drawing foundation and comb, or whether they're drawing comb out on the foundation in the top box, number 5 up there. This Swarm 1 colony that we inspected last week was starting to really ramp up brood production, and the colony was really starting to grow nicely. That's exciting to see. Interesting to note, they seem to be going more vertical rather than horizontal. It makes me wonder if I should not have left a little less space on above them and let them go horizontal first. And the reason I say that is because Ian Stepler was talking about his something kept crawling on me. Was talking about his colonies with his nukes, and he was showing how they go vertical from the nuke up through the colony. So like if you have two nuke hives, for those who don't know, a nuke hive is basically half a hive. It's for starting bee colonies in. It's a smaller hive to start them, and then once they build up, you can transfer them to a bigger hive. So sometimes people will stack nukes side by side. Ian has, I think he stacks 4 nukes side by side under a 10 frame hive, and then he drops 10 frames on that, and he can, with the queen excluders on, he can harvest honey off of that while building those colonies. But anyway, he was showing how one of the nuke colonies was really thriving, and the one next to it was not. And the one that was really thriving had gone up and built up the comb up above them, and the one next to it that had not also had not built comb up. And he was showing how vertical they travel when they're uninhibited in the vertical direction. Just thought it was something interesting to note and think about. I kind of already knew that, but it was good to hear him reinforce that and mention it again, and kind of to be able to pay more attention to it. I think that'll prove very valuable in managing my bee colonies in the future. I do have some nuke hives that I got along with the rest of all this awesome bee equipment, and I'm hoping that that Topbar hive will still produce a swarm or two this year, hopefully soon. And looking at the population over there, I think that's a possibility. And I'm hoping I can fill 1 or 2 nuke hives, preferably 2, and then I could stack a normal single box on top of that, and they could stay together warm through the summer, or through the winter, theoretically. Anyway, this is the original 18 OR1 colony. Slow, steady productivity. Mosquitoes are out today. And yes, that's me slapping my face. You can see they got 2 fanning pathways open on this big colony. That's how much airflow they're trying to move through that hive to evaporate nectar down to honey. And also to keep the colony cool and, you know, manage all the environmental variables they need to manage. Got to keep it just warm enough and just cool enough and just moist enough over top of the brood while you're dehydrating honey, and so on and so on. It's a lot of environmental management that they're doing. Anyway, I just thought I would come out and get a shot of the bees, because I know I haven't done any video of these guys real recently. Show their progress. They're doing really well. And I guess we looked at the Topbar hive first, so we don't need to go look at that. I think I'm going to call this the end of the video. I hope you found this interesting or informative. If you have questions or comments, don't be afraid to do so down below. Thanks for watching the Pharmacy Seeds Network.